Man, just really proud of our team for their performance. You know, I've said in this stretch, I don't think we're playing that poorly. Tonight we played exceptional, and some of it just is shooting, right? It's as simple as making shots. But I thought we had great energy, got some offensive rebounds. Ian was really good that first possession. Hunter was unbelievable making shots. I thought defensively we did a nice job in the first half. We were really locked in and did a good job on Jesse Edwards, who I love as a player. And just, you know, did a nice job holding the lead, and then dealt with a bunch of press and different things throughout the game. They made a couple runs and we answered it every time. So just extremely pleased with our players and happy for our guys to win this one. This was a good one.
How crucial is it for Hunter to get it going early, hit a couple of shots from beyond?
Yeah, I mean, it's just good for our team to see the ball going in. After a game where we shot 4 for 24, you know, we needed to see the ball go in. You know, and he's our leader. He's you know, we didn't have any doubt that he, you know, he would play well tonight. And so, yeah, I think those are important shots early.
It was your first time facing that Syracuse zone this season. What was the key to breaking that down tonight?
Making shots. You know, when you make shots, then it spreads out a little bit. When you have a lead, it spreads out. Like in the second half, obviously they're pressing and everything's different. Then, you know, there's some open court stuff. They're just wider because they're trying to get a steal or two, and now you get the ball inside a little bit easier. So it's really different when it's that way versus maybe the way it was in the first half, even though we executed, I thought, very well. But, you know, you got to make shots. If you don't make shots, it's challenging because it's not easy to get it to the places you want to get it to. And so, but, you know, we had a nice mix to our game today. Our guys did some good things.
Brad, Chase noted that they're not as long on the wings as they have been. How much of a factor was that?
Yeah, it helps a little bit. Obviously, you know, personnel with different guys. You know, there have been times I've played them, obviously, when they're 6'8", you know, 7 feet, and guards are 6'4", and the arms are longer, and it's harder to move the ball and get it around places. You know, Syracuse is a young team. They have young players. They have some good young players, but they are young. You know, minus Gerard and Edwards. And Coach has done a good job of growing that team. They're much different. I watched a couple games in November and December. They're much different, playing much better. And their zone has improved. You know, it's hard to win on the road. It just is. You know, part of it's the crowd, part of it's guys shoot better at their home environments, and you know, we certainly did that today.
Brad, I know you talked a lot about having a true team this year. Just when you're playing kind of a unique defense, how much does that help, having guys that have been here a while and seen
It helps having some older players that have dealt with it and played against the zone and just, you know, in shorter preps, you know, can get ready in a couple days because, I mean, your scout team tries, your coaches try to simulate what it's like, but it's, you know, might be half as good, probably not even that. It's just, you know, and we got sticks that we use sometimes to try to make the guys' arms longer, to pass around and do different things to work on that. So, yes, it helps to have older guys.
Well, on Saturday, Duke ran consistent double teams at Jesse Edwards. What was your intention tonight? How did you?
Yeah, we didn't double him, but we had, I mean, we guarded him with a man and a half. We had people in his lap when he caught it. And, you know, credit Judah Mintz, he made some shots. You know, we played off of him some and to try to muck it up in there and to try to make it hard to limit some of his touches. And then when he did catch it, to not let him have quite as many dribbles. And you know, I really love him as a player. It's fun. He's like Hunter Tyson for Syracuse, right? Hunter Tyson for our program is player development, and they've done a phenomenal job with Jesse. I mean, he is completely different than he was as a freshman, and it's been fun to watch his progression. I love how he plays. He's competitive on both ends. His improvement in terms of his skill level is off the charts. Right hand, left hand jump hooks, shot blocks, rebound. I just think he's a terrific player.
Brad, do you think this time of year now, with you guys, that it's almost like elimination time and you got to play every game like it's that kind of game?
I mean, it kind of is in some ways, but, you know, I mean, we knew they're, you know, I mean, we've been trying on all these games. It's not like we're not trying, you know. I thought I thought we've played better than our record has showed in the last 5 games, but other teams have finished some games against us, and other teams have played well. And there have been times in the game when we haven't won the crucial possessions that you have to win. You know, you get a margin, or you have a lead and you don't finish a half, or you get yourself back in a game and you start the half poorly, and now you're down 10 and you're playing from behind, and it's hard to do that on the road. But then, you know, you look at some of the stats in some of the games, like the Louisville game, and I mean, 5 turnovers, we win by 20 points in the paint, we win fast break points, you know, but you shoot 4 for 24, and it's hard to overcome that. And you miss some crucial free throws when you had chances in the comeback, and some of our good players missed a couple. You know, you just, some of that's basketball. Like tonight, we make a bunch of threes, some guys that haven't made as many, and I'm sure Coach Boeheim's scratching his head like, holy cow, those guys made them tonight. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard as a coach that way. It's hard as a player. So I think our team has hung in there. I know we've had good focus, energy. Kids are practicing with great effort and energy, and today was good to get back home. I mean, we've played very well here. I mean, we've been terrific, minus 1 game all year. In the last 2 games here, we've played outstanding. So some of it is just being back home and being comfortable and having our fans support us like they have all year.
I figure their press in the second half gave Chase a little bit of trouble.
Oh, you can nitpick on a possession or two, they traveled once, whatever. Yeah, by and large, it was fine. Like, we probably could have tried to score more against it, but, you know, then you're creating more possessions, and that's part of why they're doing it. Like, there's a reason why they're creating 3-on-2s and 2-on-1s, is if they don't get the steal, you know, you shoot one, they're coming right back at you, and now the game, you've just added 6, 8 possessions, 10 possessions to a game. And so you gotta be careful. And I thought we did a nice job. We scored on a few of the transition situations after, but we also did a nice job of not doing it all the time and buying into that.
I think a lot of your offensive rebounds were kind of caught of their zone and just them not being able to.
They're not as good a defensive rebounding team as some other teams in the league. Like, they're in the bottom half. Some of that is because of they're spread out, and there's a few more longer rebounds, you know, and so now your guys have some opportunities. And we obviously, this was a game where we sent 3, knowing that we could, you know, we thought we could get some, and at the same time, you know, I think Ian set a great tone at the beginning by getting a couple.
Coach, all starters tonight, recording in these double digits. How can that offensive momentum for this unit carry into this final stretch of the season?
Yeah, well, I hope it does. I mean, it's, you know, that's significant, right? From the standpoint of, you know, we think all those guys are good players. In certain games, it's a little more PJ's game tonight. It's a little more Chase Hunter and Brevin's game tonight. It's a little more Hunter's game tonight. However, we're kind of being played. We have to make some adjustments. But you got to have, you know, 3 or 4 of those guys most nights have to play well. We have a young bench. We have young players, and you know, there've been some times when they haven't been able to answer when we needed. The other day they didn't play as well. I didn't play them as much, and so when that's the case, our older guys got to carry us a little bit, and that's what happens with most teams. Your starters, your guys that are your mainline guys. You know, that's the responsibility. When you don't play well, your team may not win. You know, there's pressure there. And thankfully, our guys are good players and have handled it most nights.
Gerard is the type of player that can take over games. How much of an emphasis was there on locking
A
him
lot.
down?
Yeah, he's a really good player. A lot of respect for the way I mean, his career is unbelievable. I did I think I met with I don't know if it was Syracuse guys or Tim Beret, probably Tim Beret, told me he's 3rd in the school history in threes. It's remarkable, right? I mean, he's wired to score and to get shots off. Great change of pace. He can do it off the bounce. He can do it off screens. And runs a bunch of different things for him. So yeah, he was a primary focus.
Brad, getting to 20 wins at this point, and obviously that's a pretty big milestone. Just what's
Yep.
that mean? And then 12 ACC wins. as
Yeah,
well.
it's you know, it means a lot. You know, I'm super proud of our team. Conference, you know, record for wins. I get it. Like, we played 20 games now, but I guess we did it in 17, so, that's pretty good. And our guys have hung in there, and 20 wins is still, a lot to be proud of. These kids have really put in a lot of time and effort and hung in there, and we've dealt with some injuries, and guys have kept swinging, and I'm just proud of this group. It's been a very fun group to coach, very coachable group. They're really pouring into our team and giving us everything they have. So, that's all you can ask as their coach, and you just want to see good things happen to kids like that. So, yeah, it's significant.
What do you feel like mindset-wise? I mean, when you lose a game like Louisville, just being able to bounce back and put that behind you, seems like really you played pretty well after losses for the most part.
I mean, I'm very real with our players on our performance, when we play well, when we don't. And I told them there were a lot of things that we did in the Louisville game that were really good. And you show some of that and you talk about it. We did not watch much film from the Louisville game because it doesn't translate nearly as much to the Syracuse game, and because it was a quick turnaround. We actually did some more work. We came in Monday morning and we did 30 minutes of skill. And so we shot. I wanted to kind of get the bad taste of shooting out of our mouth. We worked on a bunch of little quick zone shots. And I just wanted our guys, we were gonna get together, we had an off day Sunday, and I think it's really important we get together that morning and do something, whether it's film or skill. And so I thought it was really one of the smarter moves of mine this year in terms of coaching, is get them in and not watch film, but get them in the gym and let's make shots. Let's do some of our zone shooting drills and see the ball go in and feel good about when we come to practice, like we're already on to Syracuse. Like, that's the next thing we've got to deal with. And so we cleaned up some things with the individual coaches from Louisville. And so our guys know the things that we didn't do very well, and obviously I talked about that a little bit. Defensively, we had some lapses, and then they made some tough shots. But at the end of the day, it's keeping our guys' confidence up, right? Not being negative. They needed their confidence up, and I thought it showed today.
Coach, NC State has a formidable backcourt, and Burns is a handful. Y'all beat them by 14 in the first meeting. What do you think the keys were to that game?
I mean, I got to watch and see how they're playing. I'm sure it's not a lot different. It's handling all three of those guys. I mean, NC State's playing great right now, as well as almost anybody in our league, and that's a heck of an environment. It's loud, and we have to handle the crowd. We've got to do the best we can to make it difficult for those three players. You're not letting me enjoy this at all, are you? Holy cow. Hard work.
Any more questions for
Anybody
Coach?
else?
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah, Davis.
I got this, Davis. I'm just curious, with a couple of quad one opportunities coming up on the road, do you go into it thinking that you need to get both of them in terms of the NCAA tournament picture and get back into that?
Yeah, I mean, I need what? I mean, yes, I mean, we need them, absolutely, we know that. I don't think I need to tell my team that. My team knows that. We need to play good basketball. If we play good basketball, really good basketball, all those other things will take care of themselves. But it starts with playing really good basketball and having a really collective, determined spirit as a group. And it's going to take all of that against those two teams. Those two teams are two of the best teams in our league and playing great.
NC State, is that environment, I guess, what's it like playing up there? How hard can it be? It seems like
It's
pretty-
loud.
pretty
Yeah,
rough.
it's loud. It's, they're not very nice to you. They say mean things. And obviously when they make a basket, it gets even louder. So, there's a lot of really good environment. I mean, the crazy thing with us, like Louisville was unbelievable atmosphere the other night. I mean, there was 16,000 people there going crazy. I mean, it was tough. And that's part of it. I mean, Carolina, the game before, those two places have both been exceptionally loud. And, that's part of why I went in as hard on the road. And tonight, got a little loud in here. It was good. Okay?
Thank you, Coach.